Every CEO's journey has its Everest. The moments when the path forward feels steep, uncertain, and alone. With Sherpa CEO coaching, you don't climb alone. Our experienced coaches are your guides, helping you break through barriers, sharpen your strategy, strengthen your leadership, and build a team that can carry you higher. With tailored one-on-one coaching, strategic planning, and real accountability, your summit is within reach. Sherpa CEO Coaching, your guide to confidence, clarity, and extraordinary business growth. Get coached and learn more at sherpaceo.com.
Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey with your host, Dave Westcott. The Entrepreneurial Journey is a weekly podcast that streams live every Tuesday at 9:15 a.m. Pacific on Dave's YouTube channel and LinkedIn profile. Now here's Dave with this week's episode.
Good morning and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey. I'm your host, Dave Westcott, and I have with me special guest, Kanchana Allan, founder of Radiant Beauty Med Spa and Wellness. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding. I'm super excited to have you on the show, and thank you. I love this space. Radiant Beauty Med Spa and Wellness. Why don't you take just a second and tell us a little bit about what the Med Spa does and how you bring wellness to people?
Sure. So my background is I am a family nurse practitioner. So I was practicing family medicine for a while and then decided to kind of branch into medical aesthetics and wellness. And that was partly because as a family practitioner, we don't have the freedom to spend as much time as we want with each patient. And I didn't have the ability to customize care the way that I would prefer. So I decided to go into the aesthetics portion of it, learning things like Botox, chemical peels, microneedling, and just really a way to help people build their confidence and still remaining true to who they are. The wellness aspect of it is I am starting to bring in pieces of primary care into the business, but taking more of a holistic approach. So looking at the person as a whole and, really providing individualized care. It's not a one size fits all approach. And that came from my dad, who was a homeopathic physician. So I learned to sort of through him, you meet people where they are and walk with them on their journey. And their journey, each person's journey is going to look a little bit different. So that's really what excited me about getting into this field.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I bet it's been quite the journey going from, family nurse practitioner to business owner and, navigating all of the challenges of launching, growing, evolving, and running a business, right? Like that's a big shift to just say, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm going to kind of jump off the deep end here. I'm going right into entrepreneurship and here we go. I'd love to know, now that we know a little bit about the business and what you do, like what were those initial thoughts? What scary things did you have to kind of overcome, to get there and open the first space? How did you navigate all that? I'd love to know, because that feels like a scary jump. I mean, that's just how I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm going all the way in on this thing. So talk to us a little bit about that.
I still feel like, what am I doing? It is very scary. And I was fortunate enough to have a friend who was already in the med spa business, but she sort of inherited a well-established business. But she's the one who helped me along the way. I had to ask her lots of questions and get, tips and tricks from her because I was starting from nothing. And I was also doing it on the side while I was working full time. So
Okay.
initially, that's what I did for the first year. And it wasn't until last October that I decided to focus on it full time, because I thought, well, if I have one foot in one door and one foot in the other, I'm not really going anywhere. So I talked to my husband and we just said, okay, let's go for it. But I'm constantly learning. There's so many things that, I didn't study business. So I've had to just ask a lot of people for advice along the way, because I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough. So you had a friend who inherited a well-established, business unit, and so from there you kind of got some rules of the road. You got some, maybe some boundaries and some stuff like that, but you still had to figure it out. You still had to set up a lease, or you still had to, navigate that and all of the expenses that go along with it, advertising more. I mean, you still had to build this thing, and you had to build it while you were working and balancing family. So you had, like, I have to imagine the weight on the shoulders was just a lot. How did you
Yes.
navigate
It,
that?
uh, uh, sometimes with tears. But I think just really leaning on other people. And so advice that I've gotten from friends, especially that particular friend, she told me where she got her training, because I had to learn skills that I've never learned before to
Right.
become an injector. Um, and, just a lot kind of going back to school in a way, because I had to study facial anatomy. That's something that I never
Hmm.
studied in depth. Um, because that's critical to this position. You're dealing with someone's face,
Right.
so you have to get it right.
And that's important to a
Uh,
lot of people. They don't want their face.
yeah,
They don't want half their face large and half their face small.
yeah, exactly. And then they're kind of a walking advertisement for me.
Yeah.
So they are a reflection of my skill set. And so I really think it was just leaning on people and asking questions, and um, kind of being humble in that regard.
Yeah, that's cool. And so your business is based in Snohomish, Washington.
Yes.
That's
And for the longest, for a while, I was the only dedicated med spa in the city of Snohomish.
okay. Well,
I
that's
think I have a
nice.
couple competitors now.
Now a couple of competitors
Yeah,
have popped up. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. Snohomish is a beautiful little city.
it is.
So
Yeah,
I'm right in
love it.
Monroe, like 20 minutes away. So
Oh, well, you should come
that's kind
by.
of cool. I know I should definitely check it out. I was thinking, "Oh my goodness, we're doing a show with somebody in Snohomish. This is amazing. This is right down the street. I ride my bike. I take my bike. I park at the little library and I do my long bike rides on that Centennial Trail out there. So
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of cool connection. Um, so that's kind of cool. So each one of the people that's coming in to your facility, they are a walking advertisement, and you had to basically go back to school, and you had to, learn facial anatomy, and you had to put all this together while you're, working your day job, while you're taking care of family, while you're, doing all of that. That seems like a lot to do. Um, I got to know, how did you get your first client? How did client number one walk in the door?
Yeah, so I probably owe some of that to the family practice where I worked, because it came out in conversation that I had a med spa. And so, there were people that were interested. So they asked me to kind of keep them posted, or they just followed me on social media and saw, my progress.
Okay.
And then it was through word of mouth, um, and doing social media. And I'm not, I'm not really good with social media. So I had to rely on my kids and their significant others, in learning how to post, and um, yeah, and because I guess there's algorithms and there's ways to post, and the music that you put with it, and so I just let the kids handle that part.
That's cool. So it's a family affair. Everybody's invested in the med spa. Everybody's helping mom out.
Yes, yes. because our two oldest boys are actually both nurses, and their one fiance and the other girlfriend is a nurse and a nurse practitioner. So they have helped me in the med spa, and they help at pop-up events or with when we do IV hydration. My oldest son is really good with starting an IV. So yes, it is a family affair.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I love that. So wait a minute, you guys do the deal where you come in and you put the little deal in your arm and they got the little bag of water or whatever's in it and basically it rehydrates you?
Yes,
You guys
yes,
do this at the med spa?
we do.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. You know what's crazy? I was just thinking the other day, I need to find a place that does hydration because I run marathons. I'm a marathon runner, right? This is what I
Oh,
do. And I was in Phoenix and I did 10 miles in 117-degree heat. And afterwards, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I need to get to a dehydration place, you know? And
yeah.
I've been going through some cramping the last few days because I depleted some systems and I was like, okay, I gotta find one of these places. And now it just so happens that I connect with you on the show, and bam, here we go. You do this at the spa, so now I've found the place to get. I'm gonna
Yeah.
call it hooked up, right? I'm gonna found the place to get hooked up because. When you're training when you train for these triathlons and these marathons and these things, staying hydrated is so critical to
Yes.
your success, and hydrating before a run and hydrating after a run. I've learned that nutrition is like a fifth sport. And so you really got to stay focused on that. So now I've got the spot. So that's amazing. I don't have to Google anything. I don't have to chat GPT anything. I know where I'm going. I'm going to Radiant Beauty Med Spa and Wellness in Snohomish. So that just solved one of
That's
my big
great.
problems. And look at that. You just gained a client on the podcast show. So that's even bigger win. I love it. I'm
That's
super
awesome.
excited. What else? I got to know. So what else do you do? What is the breadth of services that happen at
Yeah.
the facility?
Okay. So Botox, I mean, I
Okay.
think everyone kind of knows what Botox is. There's different types of what we call neuromodulators. So Botox is one of them. So there's a bunch of different brands.
Sure.
Then we do microneedling. So microneedling is there's a device, the one we use, it's called Skin Pen. I think it was the first FDA approved device. So what it does is it has several tiny needles, and as the device, you glide it over the patient's skin, it creates little micro injuries, so micro channels into the skin. And as a healthcare provider, the depth that we can go to is a lot deeper than an esthetician. And so those micro injuries then promote the healing process in the body. And what it does is it boosts collagen and elastin production. So as we age, we lose that laxity because we're losing that collagen production. Like it's not the way it used to function when we were in our 20s. By doing that and enhancing that remodeling process, you're rejuvenating the skin. So in about 3 months or so, those exosomes and collagen build up, and you look youthful again. So that's one of the other treatments. And we can do that with platelet-rich plasma, where we draw your blood, we spin it down, and in the plasma, that just kind of boosts, it's almost like a supercharge of
Hmm.
the collagen and elastin production. So we put that on the skin as we're microneedling.
Wow.
Um, and then we do chemical peels. So that's taking off the dead layers of skin, and then it allows, the new skin underneath to kind of come to the surface. And that helps with hyperpigmentation. It can help with acne scars. The microneedling can do the same thing. And a lot of these treatments you can do together, maybe not on the same day, but they
Sure.
complement each other. We also have vitamin injections that we do. So B12, vitamin D, glutathione, which is really good for liver detox and inflammation in the body. I know I'm missing some, but we do several types of injections like that. And we have a radio frequency microneedling device that goes even deeper than our skin pen device. So, and then if you also then tack on our erbium YAG laser, it does skin resurfacing.
Oh,
So
wow.
you're kind of, as it was described to me, the microneedling is like building the mattress under the skin, and the laser resurfacing is like the comforter that goes over the top.
Oh, I
So
love it. It sounds
yeah,
exciting.
yeah, it is. It's fun. It's fun for me too. So
Okay, I got one question on the vitamin injection. Do you guys do iron injections?
we don't do iron injections. Yeah, I know. I've been asked if we do iron infusions, and that is something that we do not do right now.
Is it something you're going to do in the future?
I don't know. I actually have to look into it to see what's involved.
Okay. Okay. I have to get an iron infusion.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
iron
Yeah.
deficient. So when I got my blood work, they were like, "Okay, you got to get an iron infusion." And so I was like, "Oh man, maybe I can kill a second bird on this call." But that's okay. But that's okay. Okay, so you do all of these things, and all of these all seem very natural.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, more or less. The chemical peels, I don't know if I would call that really natural, but yeah, I mean, my goal is to do things more, like I said, holistically, and I am planning on bringing on homeopathic remedies as well. When I was in family practice, I would often give suggestions for homeopathic remedies to my patients. So, and those are all based on, herbs and botanicals and things like that.
Sure.
Um,
That's awesome. I love that. So as you continue to grow the med spa, you're continuing to add on services, and you're continuing to uh, build it up and take on and more basically services. Is that right?
yes, yes.
Okay.
And I will then focus on wellness visits as well, because right now we're just operating out of one room. So I don't want to take care of any patients that might have a contagious illness because I have no
Sure.
way of airing out the room. But, doing physicals and treating ear infections, or, doing stitches or things like that,
Oh
we'll be
wow.
able to handle
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So are you guys expanding the location?
We just moved to a new location. The room is a little bit bigger. The hope is within a year that yes, we can move to a multi-room location, and that I can bring uh, Laura, who's my one of my son's girlfriends, bring her on board. She's a nurse practitioner.
Okay.
So that, yeah, that would be the
Wow.
goal.
That's cool. So it's really a family business.
Yes, yes. My husband's the unofficial CFO, so
There
he's
you go.
he's tough. He holds those purse strings pretty tight.
That's good. You got to have somebody watching the pennies. Is he also in the
Yeah.
medical field as well, or no?
No, he is he's a teacher, middle school math special ed teacher.
Okay, so that's why he's got the purse strings. He's got the math skills locked down. So you got it all put together. And what was it like
Yeah.
when you said, "Hey, I want to start my own business. I want to go out and do this." What did he say? How did you was he supportive from the beginning, or was he like, "Oh, well, let's see, let's think about it." How did that go? How did that happen?
I would say he was supportive. I think he saw that I was getting burnt out in primary care. I think a lot of practitioners are, kind of get burnt out. And so he was interested, and he also saw that our friend, how successful her business was.
Mm.
So I think he could see the vision. He did have to do a bit more research before, giving that green light.
Before he was
So
sold.
yes, exactly. And yeah, so yeah, he has been. He's been very supportive.
That's cool. So as you were thinking about this, what was that like that light bulb moment or that aha moment where you said, I am done in my job. I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go out on my own. I want to do what was there an aha moment? Was there a light bulb moment that led you to make that decision?
Yes. I think it happened over time, but seeing 20 plus patients a day and being on call, uh, it's, and then feeling like I can't give enough time to each patient that walks through the door. That was maybe the aha moment for
Mm,
me that I, I'm not practicing medicine the way that I want to. That's truly fulfilling for me.
mm,
Um, I mean, I always got good feedback from my patients, but we're limited. We get 20 minutes or we get 40 minutes, and that's not always enough time for someone to really tell me everything that's going on with them.
yeah, that is tough. So basically, it kind of feels like just like people are running through the turnstile, and you just run them through the
Hmm.
turnstile, and this is the most time, and if it doesn't meet it, oh well, got to move on and come back next time. And so it sounds like what you were really wanted to focus on was just a quality program, quality connection, quality medical services, and that's really where your focus was just giving people what they need to heal, to get better, to continue their life, but not cut them short on time. And maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's only 10 patients a day. That still seems like a lot of patients.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know what I mean, like 20 patients
Yeah.
seems like a lot of patients. I don't know how many hours you guys worked. 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. It seems like you'd have to work around 12 hours to get 20 patients in.
Yeah, well, it's crammed into an 8-hour day, but the documentation goes over overtime. That's what we end up doing at the end of the day is, all the
Hmm.
documentation.
So you got to fill out all the
So
charts and
yeah.
the notes and all that kind of
Hmm.
thing have to go in there. Okay. So basically, it was just like you felt like your space, what you signed up for when you got into the medical field was not to run people through the turnstile as fast as possible, was to give them high quality medical care. And so based on that, you said, "Hey, look it, I'm going to start my own med spa. I'm going to get into my own wellness. I'm going to build this business out, and I'm going to do it based on really taking care of people, listening to people, and helping them resolve the medical issues that are in front of them." Is that a good synopsis
Yes.
of what we did?
Yeah, that's very well said. Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So, what made you pick Snohomish? Do you live in Snohomish, or did you just feel like that was the right space to do it?
Yeah, we live in Snohomish. We moved here from Southern California about a little over 7 years ago. Um, and actually, being a nurse practitioner was a second career for me.
Oh,
I started in the biotech industry at a company called Amgen and worked there for 26 years before going back to school to first become a nurse and then nurse practitioner. So,
okay. So, career two has led you down this path, and as a working in the biotech field, what does that entail? What does a day look like in the biotech world?
yeah, so when I first started, it was actually being in a lab. So my first degree was in biology and doing experiments on the medications that we would eventually get into humans. And I felt, that was kind of fulfilling. It was tedious. Then I went kind of more the project management route where I was trying to work with different people in different departments and with the goal of advancing our product to the market. So it was kind of like herding cats.
Yeah.
Um, so that was challenging, but it was very administrative, and that's when I started feeling like, well, I'm really far from that patient connection, and that's what I sort of felt that I was missing.
Hmm.
So my company paid for my education, so I went and got a degree, master's in public health. And as part of my final capstone event, I volunteered at a free clinic, and I saw all these doctors and nurses volunteering their time. And I thought, wow, that's what I want to do. I
Hmm.
don't want to be standing on the sidelines. I want to be able to make a difference. So that was kind of the turning point for me when I said, okay, well, maybe I go back to school then. And and that's what I did. And that's kind of then how we left California, came to Washington.
Wow,
Um,
that's nice. That's nice. And I bet the cost of living is a lot better in Snohomish than it is in Southern California, or it's about the same. It's actually expensive
uh,
in Washington anyways.
yeah, when we first moved here, I felt like it was better, but now it seems like it's getting close to California.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I think
not,
too. It
yeah, it's pretty expensive.
yeah, that's nice. What part of Southern California, like the Mission Viejo type area, or like is that Southern
Um,
California in your mind, or is that more
oh, which part?
like
Sorry.
Mission Viejo type area, or no? I don't know
Uh,
California
I
that
would,
well.
okay. So Ventura County, so it's a little south of Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. So is that an area that gets the wildfires too, or no?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so that's another tough area with the fire. That's all right. Well, at least we don't get
Yeah.
fires in Snohomish. That's or that I've seen. We don't have any out here yet. So that's
I
so
hope
that's a good
not.
thing. So as you look into the future and you think, 5 years down the road, what does your business look like in 5 years?
I would love for it to be a lot bigger. Not massive, but at least a few practitioners, and some support staff, um, so that we can continue to help patients. And I hear from the patients at the med spa that the hardest thing for them is to get in with a primary care provider. They have to wait months. And mine's going to be a cash pay basis, so I won't deal with insurance. But I'd like to be able to be a place where people can get in sooner to see somebody, instead of having to wait weeks or months.
Yeah.
Um,
The wait is miserable.
yeah.
You're waiting, it's hard to find someone. Yeah, all that's true. I think that's good. So, okay, so you plan on growing. Do you ever plan on opening more than one location, or do you think that you're good with one location, or have you even thought about that?
I haven't thought about that.
Okay.
Kind of taking it one step at a time.
Okay. And have you kind of thought out a plan on what it is to, get bigger and add a few practitioners and add some support staff? Have you thought about laying that out and what that timeline looks like in your business, or are you still just in the day to day?
I've thought about it a little bit, but really still just in the day to day. I think just getting the word out, and the marketing side of things, that's kind of challenging. I do have someone who's helping me with that now, which has been amazing, because I don't have that expertise, so um but that's really important, and understanding how to work social media is really important. um so just getting that reach
Yeah.
and letting people know that we exist.
Yeah, that's cool. So do your clients come from social media today? Is that where people find out a lot about what you're doing and that sort of thing?
Some of them, but I do ask when people come in, and I think most of them are actually coming in from Google searches.
Oh,
Yeah, just great.
yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Okay, so a lot of the people are coming in through Google searches, but the real thing that you're working on conquering right now is the marketing and getting people into the facility and into the program. And at your property in Snohomish, at your facility, is there a big sign that you have that gives you some advertising, or is it how are you structured and set up?
Yeah, so I mean, literally just moved. So where we were before, we were above Fabulously Frugal Thrift Store
Okay.
on Second, And believe it or not, that building houses over 40 businesses, but nobody would know because there's no signage.
I would never have
So,
known that.
yeah, and we didn't either until we decided to move in there. So where we are now is on Avenue D inside Frost Apothecary.
Okay.
So there we will be able to have signage up, and I think that will help a lot.
Yeah, I think signage is a big deal.
Yeah.
I think signage is a big deal. I mean I had a a building that we had signage at just for a landscaping company that we owned. And when we put up a sign, on on the side of the road where people drove by, it was amazing how many people actually just stopped in and were like, "Oh, can we get a quote for this? Oh, can we get a quote for?" I mean, and it drove hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue just by having a sign for a landscaping company where you walk in, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like it was one of the most mind-blowing things that I ever saw, was that just people driving by and with the sign. And for us, if it was one or two people a week, it was still, kind of like a big deal. And I never
Yeah.
expected that that would be something that would, you know, uh generate, connection, generate revenue, and or that people would even want to stop in and ask for a quote or something. But
Sure.
surprisingly, they do. So that's cool. I think getting the sign up, that's a good deal. And then you said you're working with somebody on marketing. Is this like a paid program that you're working on, or is this are you doing this internally? How are you structuring that?
Yeah, so the person that is helping me, she was a patient of mine in family practice. And actually she's now, I guess, kind of an employee.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah, so that she's amazing. And she has a master's in marketing, and so she has that knowledge. And so I just rely on her to develop the I don't know. Again, I'm not well versed in social media, so she takes care of all that.
All right, that's cool. So she nails that for you, and she gets that going. Well, that's really cool. So I've loved learning about your business. I think it's amazing. If somebody does want to connect with you on social media, are you on social media? Are you on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram? Where are you guys
Yeah.
hanging out on social media?
Um, Facebook and Instagram primarily.
Okay.
I do have a LinkedIn account as well, but I haven't really been posting on LinkedIn.
Yeah, probably not for a med spa. I would
Yeah.
imagine that Facebook and Instagram are kind of the main drivers, if I would just guess. Okay, that's pretty
Yes.
cool. And um how can people look up your Instagram and Facebook who are listening to the show today?
So our Instagram is at Radiant B Med Spa, and then Facebook, I guess they can just search under
Yeah,
Radiant Beauty.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right,
And
I'm
we
writing
like,
those down.
okay. Yeah, and we do, like I said, pop-up events. We're doing a Botox party coming up here on Friday night. We've done bridal parties. There was a bridal party that wanted B12 injections the night before the wedding. So um, the entire party and the groom's mom as well. So
Oh,
they
that's
just
cool.
wanted that extra, yeah, boost of energy. And then bachelorette parties, with IV hydration after the parties.
Yep.
So those are all, yeah, all available.
Okay, I love it. Now I got to get one of the I got to get one of these IV injection deals hooked up. How do you do
Yes.
that? Do you just go on the website and order it, or do you call, or what's the easiest way to get a deal like that set up?
Yeah, so if you go to radiantbeadmedspa.com, you can find our website and you can book online. You can also call at 360-524-2663. And we have different types of IV hydration, so it's just different cocktails that based on what your needs are that we can provide.
Okay, cool. So you kind of talk, you talk me through it. You talk somebody through it. This is what, hey, I'm running this marathon and I want to be hydrated. And I like the idea of, B12. I want some extra energy. I need a little oomph in there. So you can kind
Yeah,
of mix that and then basically put that in. And it takes what, 45 minutes, an hour, something like that to kind of go through the
yeah,
process. That's about what it is. So a good time to
yeah.
read a book or check some social media or do whatever they're
Or
doing
just
out there.
relax.
That's right, or just
Yeah.
relax. Okay, well, that's pretty awesome. So that's a lot of fun, and you're a year into this thing, or 2 years into this, right? A year basically
Um,
working simultaneously, and a year on your own.
yeah, I would say 2 years. November will be 2 years of having the business open. I forgot to add too that we also provide GLP-1, so semaglutide and tirzepatide for weight loss.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that trizepatide, that's a big deal.
Yes. Yep. Pretty
That
popular.
seems to help a lot of people.
It does.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so that's cool. So people can get, so there is just a wide breadth of services that you guys are offering down here in Snohomish, and that is just amazing. So 2 years in business, what's the biggest lesson you've learned over the 2 years that you've been doing this?
Oh gosh. I think to be patient. Don't try to do everything at once. Start out slowly. Um, and the other thing now that I have a couple of competitors is don't compare yourself to others
Yeah,
because then you get inside your own head and you can start spiraling. Just focus on your business and you are unique and people will come to you because of who you are. So just don't compare because I think that just doesn't create any positive energy. It does the opposite.
I think that's so true. And it must be kind of encouraging noticing that, there's multiple people doing this because that means there's a market for it.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Like this is something that people want, especially these GLPs, right? Like this is just off the charts. I mean, this is
Yeah.
people are all over this whole thing. So, I guess as you get into that, do you do any consulting or work around nutrition and healthy foods and whole foods and proteins and micronutrients or macronutrients and those sort of things? Do you do any kind of work around improving one's self from the nutrition standpoint?
Yeah, I actually partner with a nutritionist group that can meet with the patients virtually. And then I check in, I have the patients come in once a month and we have a discussion over what's working, what's not working. Tell me what lifestyle changes you've made. So just keeping a close eye on them and providing some guidance. So that's kind of included in that whole package is those
Oh, that's
monthly
cool.
meetings and check in, and as well as blood work that's
The blood
covered
work is
too.
important, right? The blood work, it
Yeah,
shows you what you're missing, what fillers you need, that sort of thing. So this
yeah,
really is focused on getting people well and getting people healthy, and from many different flavors or many different lenses that you guys have going on. Well, I got tons of notes. It sounds like an amazing business. I'm super excited to come in and check it out and see what you guys have going on down there. And I'm super excited to get hydrated. So I think for me it was a huge win, and
yeah.
I'm really excited about that. So I got one final question before we bring this in for a landing. We've got a big billboard, a whiteboard on the side of the freeway, side of the road, and you can put one sentence, one phrase, one word. What do you want to share with the world today before we bring this in for a close?
Boy, you mean like a slogan or
Like a
something?
slogan or a statement, or, you know, what do you want to share?
Well, I mean, our slogan is rejuvenate your radiance.
Rejuvenate your radiance. I love that. That sounds good. That sounds good. It sounds like
Yeah.
that could almost
So
be a book. You could almost have a book out there, right? I love that. Rejuvenate your radiance. I like that too. I like that too. I like the idea of the little needle thing on the face and getting it looking a little younger
Yeah.
again, and feel like I'm in my 20s. That would be a nice win. Okay. This has been amazing. Thank you so much. I've learned so much from you today, and it's just been absolutely incredible. If anybody is out there and you are looking for any of these services, I encourage you to hit up Radiant Beauty Med Spa and Wellness and this amazing team and these amazing services. Hit them up, check it out. I know that I'm going to be there for sure, and I'm super excited about that. So this has just been an amazing show, and I'm thankful for all that I've learned today. This has been the Entrepreneurial Journey. I'm your host, Dave Westcott. We are back 9:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every single Tuesday. If you like this show, give us a like, give us a share, drop your comments into the comment box, and go get your med spa on. Go get it. Go get that wellness happening and get better and get fixed and get hydrated and have all that fun. And listen, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here and an honor to learn from you today.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Every CEO's journey has its Everest. The moments when the path forward feels steep, uncertain, and alone. With Sherpa CEO coaching, you don't climb alone. Our experienced coaches are your guides, helping you break through barriers, sharpen your strategy, strengthen your leadership, and build a team that can carry you higher. With tailored one-on-one coaching, strategic planning, and real accountability, your summit is within reach. Sherpa CEO Coaching, your guide to confidence, clarity, and extraordinary business growth. Get coached and learn more at sherpaceo.com.